Hi, my name is Brianna White, and I'm a solutions engineer. Today, I want to introduce you to a tool called Microsoft PowerQuery. So, to begin with, what is Microsoft PowerQuery? Well, think of PowerQuery as a data processing tool. It's essentially a tool by Microsoft that takes any data that you want, whether it's from a JSON, a CSV file, any type of data that you could want to input into it. It actually takes it and it cleans it and it creates a an output that is easily readable and analysis ready for your company to use to drive any of its business goals. And today I'll teach you how not only how this tool translates into real world value for your company, but also I will tell you about how to use this tool in your everyday life. So what's the agenda look like for this short presentation? Well, first, I want to talk about how other companies are using Power Query and how exactly it's making their lives easier. And then I want to talk about what Power Query can bring to your business and how exactly it can help you drive your goals. And third, I want to do a live demo about how to use Power Query in a very simple circumstance. So let's start with a case study. So our case study focuses on Meijer, which is a supermarket chain that was actually dealing with a very common issue that many companies deal with. And that is being very overwhelmed with the volume of data that they had to handle, right? A lot of it was very messy, and they spent a lot of time in the process of cleaning this data to make it usable. And as a response to this, Meijer started to use Power Query. And what this did was it used its data processing capabilities to automate data systems that would help clean all of the incoming data that Meijer was dealing with. So no longer did they have to spend tons of time, resources, and manpower trying to clean this large amount of data. And what was the result of this? Well, it was pretty incredible. They actually had an 83% increase in return shopper rates. And they also saw a 29 times increase in purchase frequency in their stores. So that increased efficiency had a really great impact on their company. So with that being said, what exactly can Power Query bring to your business? Well, let's set the stage first. So poor data quality, I don't know if you've heard, but it costs organizations a huge amount of money per year. They actually have estimated that around $12.9 million per year on average is lost due to the increased manpower, effort, and resources that goes into cleaning up poor quality data. And Power Query actually offers the perfect solution to this. So it offers what's called an ETL data processing solution. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, which is a process I will go into in this presentation, which essentially helps to clean and modify data. And Power Query offers the extract and transform phases of this process. Now, this allows businesses to create very easy to use, reusable, unified workflows that are easy to adopt throughout the company. So, what are the key capabilities of Power Query? What are the three main things you'll see when using this tool? Well, first of all, it's accessible. You don't need to be a software engineer or technical person to use Power Query. Actually, it has a no-code interface, which means that all of the preparation and processing is completely democratized, and even business analysts, people who are non-technical, they can handle all the tasks that data query offers, or that Power Query offers. And also it's automated. So that means that unlike a lot of the tools that you will see that help with data, they actually in Power Query, they will track all of the steps that you use to clean your data so that when you have the same type of data coming in, you do not have to manually go in and fix everything the same way over and over. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You can use the automated data cleaning process to use the same process on every piece that comes in. And third, it's integrated, right? So this is a Microsoft tool, and it's so flexible that it can pull data from so many places, like cloud services, APIs. It can essentially handle all major types of data coming in. So I've mentioned extract, transform, and load data processes, but what exactly is ETL? So this is essentially just a data integration process in which the extract phase allows it to pull in data from, as I said, many different sources. It transforms it, which is essentially the process of reformatting it, editing it, cleaning it, and then it loads it. It loads it into whichever central destination that you prefer, typically data warehouses or databases. So, how do you begin your journey using Power Query? Well, let's dive into the live demonstration. So here we see the Excel spreadsheet that we're using here. To set the stage, we are using some dummy Airbnb data that has just come in. So this is the data that we're using, but as we can see, there is a lot of unreadable uh, cells here on top, right? We do not want that in our data because it makes it unusable, hard to analyze. So what we'll do is we'll go here in the top left corner of Excel, and we're going to use Power Query, this get data button right here. And so once we get that data, we make sure to load it by searching in our computer for the data itself. In this case, it's a CSV file. And then we transform the data. So now that we have the Power Query window open, we can select the exact way we want to transform our data. In this case, we want to remove these top 9 rows. So remove the top 9 rows. And as we can see, we've removed those rows that we do not want. And we've also recorded the steps which are now automatable in the future. So now that we have that step, it will be there for all future data transformations that we want to implement. So now that we have implemented that, we want to use the close and load button. This is the last step in the ETL process, which is load. And now that we have loaded, we now have our clean and analyzable data in Excel due to our use of Power Query. So what are the key takeaways from this demonstration? Well, first is the increased productivity that you will see after using Power Query is immense. You will solve a lot of your pipeline problems with processing data and also free up so much of your analyst time and resources because you now have this automatable tool that you can use for data processing. And the revenue benefits are huge, right? As we've already seen, we can reduce operating costs by an insane amount with Power Query. You remove so much overhead with this tool and you prevent errors actually that result from messy data and that result from any employee error that may occur because, as I said, this is an automatable tool. And third, this is very important, is the competitive leadership aspect of using new tools like this. So the improvements in productivity and revenue that you'll see are a very, very key step on the pathway to industry leadership in whichever industry your company is in. So once you see these huge results, you will also see that your company is doing extremely, extremely well in its industry. All right. And that was the entire demonstration. Thank you so much. Today we've seen how Power Query can really transform data preparation in your company into a really efficient automated asset. And due to this, you can really see increases in things like revenue and potential for industry leadership. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm here to help you identify any opportunities that you may have to use Power Query. And definitely reach out to me if you have any questions or want to schedule a session where we'll dive deeper into how we can include this tool in your company. All right. Thank you and have a nice day.